up, Starseeds, and welcome to Soulful Sunday, a weekly video where we dive in and take a look at the upcoming energies and any channeled messages for the upcoming week. Today's messages are for the week of Sunday, February 27th, all the way until Saturday, March 5th, 2022. And before we get started, I am just going to hit my root chakra singing bowl just to call in some grounding for anybody watching this video. Just breathing in and out, and in and out, and one more time, in and out. For this week, we've got about 4 pages of notes that I channeled, and some of them are quite specific in terms of sentences and wording and phrases that I've written out, so I will probably spend a bit more time looking down and reading them, making sure that I am delivering them in the way that they are meant to be sent. I hope that wherever you are watching this video from and at whatever time or day you're watching this, that these messages find you and they are able to bring you some comfort, some guidance, and hopefully some peace, because I feel that that is truly what we all want deep in our hearts in the collective. Majority of us anyways. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that Spirit wants to talk about is the vibration of war. When I opened up my channel, the first thing that I heard was that classic song, War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Absolutely nothing. So when war appears in our outside world, it means that this is a reflection of the collective consciousness of humanity. We are still at war with ourselves on some level. So Spirit is encouraging us to reflect on what aspects of ourselves are we still at war with and struggle to accept. How can we dig deeper, heal, shift, and transmute our own inner turmoil? What aspects of yourself do you still not like? And can you make peace with yourself? Or can you start to move towards making peace with yourself or moving in that direction? Can you lay down your weapons of self-criticism and holding on to things and grudges, old energy, to accept how your journey has unfolded, what you've learned, and be at peace in this now moment? Second message, what can we do if we feel helpless yet want to help? First and foremost, we can send love, light frequencies, and prayers to both Ukraine and Russia, the people of both countries, and the soldiers on each side. It's important to look at this from a higher perspective and acknowledge that on both sides of this, there are human beings. There are human beings. These are, people's children, fathers, mothers, etc., sisters, brothers, grandparents. Unity consciousness is being able to send love to any and everyone regardless of outside differences, holding the light for the highest timeline possible. Another thing that I want to add, so something else that we can do is grid work. And if you're not familiar with grid work, it's when you can, as a group, link up together, and it can be through a screen or in person, but it doesn't have to be in person. But you link up together and you set an intention, and you can send energy to a certain geographical location on the planet. And this past Friday night, I did host a grid work for Ukraine, and we also sent love and light frequencies to Russia and the surrounding countries. And we worked with an army of angels and archangels led by Archangel Michael, and it was super, super powerful. And he used his silver sword of truth, and we did grid work around Ukraine, specifically with the land and the people, and it was a really powerful 40-minute grid work session. Now I am sending it to anybody. It was recorded. Anybody who is interested and wants it, and it's free, so you can just email me at crystalnourishment@gmail.com if you would like to participate in that meditation or grid work session, but please make sure that you are in a clear headspace when you do that. If you're feeling off or you're really affected by what's going on, it's not a good idea to go in and do that session because it is quite powerful. But if you're up to it, please don't hesitate to reach out, sending me your email so that I can send you the link. And the other thing we can do if we're feeling helpless and want to help, so this is a message about peace starting in your own backyard. Peace starts in your own backyard. So making peace with yourself, like we previously mentioned, but also making peace with past events and people or current rifts that are happening. This can be with families, friends, coworkers, bosses. And they want to note that, making peace with these people or these events of the past, it doesn't always have to necessarily look like an actual apology or reaching out to them if that is something that is not appropriate or possible, or perhaps maybe the apology should maybe come from them, right? There's a lot of nuances here for this, but this is something that can be done energetically within for yourself and making peace with yourself and these other people and these other energies. So one way that you can do that is getting yourself into a meditation. You're grounded, protected, you say shields up, and you can ask to talk to the person that you've been having issues with or issues with in the past that you can't seem to let go of, or you're having a hard time letting go of. And you can talk to their higher self about it and do a release with the higher self of, thank you for all the things and the lessons that you've taught me, and I am ready to move on and clear myself from this. Again, they're just reiterating that it doesn't have to be an actual conversation with anyone if that's not possible or appropriate, but we do need to look at this and shift the frequency around this so that we can start to have more peace within ourselves if this is an energy or a person that we're still holding on to or a situation. Okay. Third message, the confusion, misinformation, and fear-mongering is intentional. Where else have we seen this pattern in the last 2 years? Our heads are on a swivel right now. Obviously, we know something bad is happening. War is terrible. But it's really hard right now to get the full picture and form an educated opinion on it all. And Spirit is saying that this is by design to keep us in a low vibration of fear clouded by confusion. And a part of this too is spending time arguing with others, even people online that you don't know, keeps you in this low vibration, and it distracts you as well, while also illuminating the fact that when we are so quick to come at a stranger behind a keyboard, there is something deep within ourselves that we have not resolved or are not at peace with. If we were truly at peace with ourselves, first of all, war wouldn't even be on the table in the collective consciousness at all. But we would also not get so triggered by someone who has a different opinion, someone who we don't even know, and that we disagree with. We wouldn't be so quick to have to respond or come at them. It would be an energy of, oh, that's interesting, I don't agree with that, but you do you, carry on. Or that doesn't resonate for me, but you do you. That kind of thing. Our need to be right inhibits our ability to see each other for who we truly are. Souls having different opinions or beliefs, but still fellow souls or human beings. On the other side of the curtain, screen, or border. Make no mistake about the level of distraction this allows. All of this, the misinformation, the different-sided news reports, photos or videos coming out and then finding out they're old videos or they're not real. All kinds of stuff is happening right now. And a lot of us are so busy trying to be right, arguing with each other, sorting through all of these different reports and pieces of information, trying to stay on top of all the other world issues too, that we are collectively being pulled in a million different directions. So when this happens, we are, as a collective, but also individually, quite scatterbrained, full of fear, anxiety, grief, and that makes it very hard for us to focus, raise our vibrations, and continue to unite with each other. And yes, there are other wars happening in the world. Yes, the war on medical sovereignty is still alive and well. Indigenous communities still don't have clean drinking water, etc. There are simultaneously so many global issues happening, and with so many different backgrounds and perspectives and histories. Of course, when a new issue or war comes in, it is very overwhelming. And, there's a little bit of energy here with people saying, well, what about this other war that's been happening for years? And what about this cause that needs immediate attention? And where were these supporters when XYZ was happening? And that's all, good and well, because we're allowed to feel passionate and concerned about multiple different issues. But what about that type of energy, and this is from Spirit, frankly, is just not helpful. When one cause gets a lot of attention or support, it does not negate previously existing causes or issues. This is something that humanity has to learn as a collective. If something comes into our awareness, it is for a reason. If something gets a lot of attention or support, sure, question things. Question motives, question the narrative, eyes wide open. But if we zoom out and we look at it from a higher perspective, energy point of view, whatever cause is happening or whatever's getting all of this attention and that people are coming together or protesting over or not agreeing with, is presenting itself as an opportunity for humans to learn and practice unity consciousness. And I see this as a positive thing. I mean, obviously I don't see the war as a positive thing. It's a horrible thing. But what we're specifically talking about right now is how there's all these other different issues, of course, that are pulling our attention apart, and it's kind of hard to focus right now. So what Spirit would like to bring our attention to is when something hits the mainstream, that a lot of people kind of are coming together over that, sort of like thinking of it as an opportunity for us to learn how to come together and put aside our differences even further. Hyper-focusing or criticizing on exactly what it is that everyone is coming together over, or that another issue should be dealt with first, and sort of nitpicking between what it is that people are coming together over, is myopic and 3D vibrational thinking. And we're encouraged to shift our perspective if you find yourself wondering about, what about the other wars and what about the other things that are happening in the world. Shifting the perspective from what about X to, wow, people from all walks of life are really coming together over this. I wonder how this will evolve and if this can help us to unite over other issues in the future. Or maybe this Ukraine and Russia situation can be a catalyst or an opportunity for other people to wake up further and realize, hang on, there's all other different kinds of wars that are happening in the world, not just this one, that have been happening for a long time. Like, there's a lot of upset in our planet. Why is that happening? Why, as humans, can we still not come together? This can provide an opportunity for these kinds of thoughts to flow. Okay. So the last message is more of it's tips for empaths that are having a hard time being here right now and that are really feeling the effects of not just the Ukraine-Russia situation, but all of the situations that are happening and all of the turmoil and upheaval that we are experiencing simultaneously as a collective. So a few tips from Spirit and things that we can do. So one of the things we can do is to call on Archangel Raphael for help and working with his emerald ray of light in the heart space, the heart chakra, because that's where a lot of us energetically sensitive souls are feeling a lot of this collective grief and pain and sorrow is here. So asking him to bring some healing in for you there and some clearing so that you're able to stay in your own field and have a little bit more of a boundary energetically. Also knowing that it's okay to log off and take some time away from what's going on. Self-preservation is key. Current events will always be happening and be around for you to come back to. So if you're really having a hard time functioning, and just take a break, take a step back, don't read the news, stay off your phone, go for a walk, read a book, even if it's just for a few hours, just doing things to disconnect from all of that noise and coming back to your center and your focus. And then when we do that, we are helping to be more connected in ourselves and our fields and our energies, and it's easier for us to navigate the outside noise when we're more clear on our inside situation or connected to ourselves, I guess I should say. Another message is that this is a tale as old as time, fighting over land. Remember that part of this collective consciousness shift that we're going through is moving out of old paradigms, and war is one of the oldest energies of this. So it kind of makes sense from an energy point of view that at some point something like this would have to get revisited or like brought up to the surface in a fresh way or in a new way for people to kind of focus on. Yeah. Interesting. Also staying on top of your energetic hygiene. Energy and space cleaning, or clearing, using sacred herbs to smudge your space, your living space, yourself, taking a selenite wand, sound healing, listening. I mean, on YouTube, there's all kinds of free meditation music. You can even probably search like energy clearing meditation music and have that on, visualizing that your field is clear, really keeping up with that spiritual hygiene this week and the next few weeks moving forward, super, super critical. And also remember to clear your phone and your computer, also your TV. If you're watching the news a lot or whatever, I think you should turn it off for a little bit, take a break, but also just clearing these electronic devices as well, because they also carry energy, and what's on our feeds and what we're following and choosing to follow and subscribe to, it's all energy. So just regularly when you cleanse yourself, also cleanse your devices, I feel. Okay. And then the next thing is continuing to raise your own vibration by doing things you enjoy if you feel up to it. And I know that sounds kind of strange, because and it's only if you feel up to it, right? Like if you're really feeling down or sensitive about what's happening, you might not feel like doing something that you enjoy, but that's okay. But if you feel up to it, we're being encouraged by Spirit to do so. And they say that this doesn't make you a bad person or selfish for experiencing joy at a time like this, or guilty. It actually has quite the opposite effect energetically. A laugh, listening to a song you like loudly, dancing, reading, whatever it is, even if it's short-lived, what this does is it sends bursts of joy and light out into the collective consciousness, and it has a ripple effect throughout, like the collective consciousness of the entire globe. So this helps to balance and break up that really, really heavy darkness that we can experience at some time. So not feeling bad for if, something was really funny and you had a really good laugh, or you did happen to go out with friends and you had a good time, just doing things like that. Because when we raise our own vibrations, like we're gonna try to make peace in our backyard first. These are always reflections. The inside always gets reflected on the outside. So you're actually doing a service to the collective by doing these things and by honoring yourselves in these ways, because it gets reflected back outwards. Ripple effect, cause and effect. Okay, so our very, very last message from Spirit is remember that if your light didn't matter, and being here, meaning being alive as a human right now, watching this video, if that didn't add any value, you simply wouldn't exist in your human form. You wouldn't have chosen to incarnate at this time in the first place. Simply by existing in your human anchors in so much light to the planet and to those who know you. So I see you, I feel you, You are loved. And I want to pull some cards, the Sacred Geometry Activations deck. I've been using this deck a lot lately for a lot of these videos because the imagery on them is just so powerful and beautiful, and the colors and the mandalas, and I think it's just great to get some energy, visual energy perspective from these cards. Okay, so is there anything else that we need to know for messages this week from the collective? Look at that. Heart chakra. The frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and body. Wow. And that goes back to that message about working with Archangel Raphael with the heart space and his emerald ray of light. So those are your messages for this week. I hope that they were helpful. I hope that you take care of yourselves. And yeah, and remember, if you are interested in participating in the grid work session for Ukraine, to just shoot me an email at crystalnourishment@gmail.com. And yeah, just send me a message, say that you would like the link to the Ukraine grid work session, and I will send you the link. It is only 40 minutes long. And if you're not able to do that, that's totally fine. No pressure. I appreciate you being here, watching these videos. Please comment, like, subscribe, share with somebody else if they could really use some energy, perspective, and guidance this week. And yes, namaste. I will see you back here next week for the next Soulful Sunday. Stay in your light, stay in your power. Much love. Namaste. Ciao.